This is the Powermatic Model 14 Oscillating Spindle Sander. I got this for free and it was working fine. But as you can see, it doesn't go up and down anymore, it just spins. So let's take this thing apart and see if we can fix it. And here's the switch. Got the two grounds. This is going out to the plug. This goes into the motor. This is the main shaft. It spins. And this is the gear that's worn out. And so it's not coming in contact with these threads as this spins. So I'll take it apart and you'll get to see what I'm talking about. So this worm gear here, as the shaft spins, the worm gear initiates with these threads. Those two arms that we loosened up, that's what gives you the up and down motion. So now we're going to remove this entire housing. Just comes right out. Hey. This is the housing and this is the worm gear, and as you can see it's got like a concave shape to it, but as you can see, hey God, it's just completely worn out, smooth as can be right there, and that is why it stopped going up and down. Well, I should have taken these off before I took the housing out. But you live and you learn. It's just spinning it. So it's on pretty tight. Just jam a screwdriver in there. There we go. Let's get this one loose. So we got the housing off, and how do we get it out? Pops out. And there is the worn out piece. So I ran into my first problem here. This is the existing worm gear, and this is the $40 replacement I got on eReplacementParts.com. And as you can see, they are similar but not the same. The diameter of the hole here on the new part is not big enough. It's got these holes drilled through for the bolt to screw these together on the wheel. So my only option is I could buy a new housing and it will come with the wheel in there, or I can try and drill this out, make the diameter of that hole fit there, and then drill some other holes in there so I can get the bolt through. And I think for the sake of this video, I think I'm going to try and drill it out.
Well, that was a bad idea. Not only did it not work, but I ruined the piece that I was trying to drill out. I think my big problem is I watch too many YouTube videos and I think I can do everything. But obviously, old little Wen here just couldn't cut the mustard. So I had no other choice but to order a new part, along with many other parts to complete the process. Well, lesson learned. Well, let's just move on then. So here's the original parts. 4 pieces, right? The housing, the wheel, and these 2 outer parts. They all snap together. Very easy. I mean, how can you make that any more difficult? Well, this is how you do it. Engineering at its finest. I mean, look at all those parts. They had it done right the first time. And it wasn't cheap either, and I had to wait 6 weeks for them to show up. They're similar, but not the same. I mean, this thing from end to end is about 3 inches. This thing's about 1 3/4 inches. It does feel a little bit more free flowing. But now I got to figure out how to get this onto the sander. All right, so the original part just fit right in there. And these arms, you know, they fit perfectly. They just screw in. This thing is a lot wider. I bought this really long piece right here, this long bolt, and I'm hoping that will give me the length I need to extend these arms out a little bit so that they can catch onto these. All right, let's just see if this may or may not work. I put a spring on there. That way it just doesn't flop around loose. And this goes in here, it engages. And it's got plenty of room to engage on these spindles. So here's the main shaft, and here's the part. And this gear that I'm spinning fits right onto this, the main shaft. So when it spins, I don't know if you can see how the gear's moving. All right, I had to pull the top off to get it on. But as you can see, I had to grind down some of the bolts so it would fit, because it's not the original housing here. But as you can see, spindle turns and the gear turns. All right, I got them smashed into each other. See? I just want to bask in my glory here. Look at that thing. It actually works. I had to get parts that were obsolete. I had to get something that was close to it. Didn't fit perfectly. I made it fit perfectly. I made it all work, and if I can do it, you can do it. Because I'm just some dummy in a garage that likes free stuff, even though I spent a lot of money to fix this thing. Okay, let's put this thing back in. And it is heavy. I mean, honestly, was it worth it to fix this thing? Not really. For the amount of money I had to spend on parts, time waiting for them, I could have bought a used Jet. I just got this thing for free and it wound up not being free. But if you like wrenching on things and figuring out how machines work, this is a good project. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but it might, help you see how machines work a little bit better. All right, well, let's turn it on and let's see if this baby works. Gotta plug it in. All right, it's plugged in. Now let's see if this thing works. All right. Now let's put the rubber to the road. Let's see if it works actually standing and doesn't break on me. So there we have it. I fixed it and it actually works. It's always such a crapshoot when you gotta buy parts that aren't specifically for a certain machine and you're just hoping that they'll work. And it took 6 weeks to get them in and I still had to fudge a bunch of it. But I fudged it and it worked. So I'm pretty impressed with myself and I'm pretty impressed with this new machine now I got for the Arsenal. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't have one of these, which you probably don't because it's like an oddball machine, but at least you know how an oscillating spindle sander works and it can kind of give you the know-how just to go for it and try and fix something yourself. I'm no machinist, I'm just some doofus in his garage trying to make a YouTube video. And speaking of which, how the heck do these YouTube guys do this, man? Make good videos. I don't know, like crap. Anyways, that's enough rambling for me. I'm sure you didn't watch this video because you think I'm cute. So thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next video.